Welcome to lesson 10.4. Today we're going to be solving two-step inequalities. Solving two-step inequalities is similar to solving a two-step equation from chapter 5. So we're going to start by using addition or subtraction first, then we'll use multiplication or division. Remember to flip the inequality if we multiply or divide by a negative number only. So our first example, we're solving 4x plus 5 is less than a negative 39. So as we mentioned before, with problems like these, we want to start with addition or subtraction first. So that means we want to get rid of this plus 5, and we can do that by subtracting 5 from both sides. Okay, the plus 5 will be gone on the left side, leaving just 4x. The inequality will stay less than. Negative 39 minus 5 will get me a negative 44. From there, I need to get rid of the 4. Well, right now 4 and x are being multiplied together, so in order to undo that, I need to divide by 4. Okay, and if I divide the left by 4, I have to divide the right by 4 as well. So on the left, the 4's cancel out, leaving just x. Now I divided by a positive number, so the inequality will stay less than. And on the right, negative 44 divided by 4 gives me a negative 11. So therefore my final answer is going to be x is less than negative 11. Our next example, we've got 5 minus 4x is greater than 49. Okay, so again, adding or subtracting first, I want to get rid of this 5 here. It's a positive 5, so to undo that, I'm going to subtract it over to the other side. Okay, subtracting 5 on the left makes it go away. I still have that minus sign, so I'm going to keep that. So I've got a negative 4x greater than 49 minus 5 gives me 44. So now I've got negative 4 times x. So to get rid of that negative 4, I need to divide by negative 4. If I divide the left by negative 4, I have to divide the right by negative 4 as well. The negative 4's cancel, leaving just x on the left. Since I did divide by a negative number, my inequality goes from a greater than to a less than. And then 44 divided by negative 4 gives me a negative 11. So my final answer here is x is less than negative 11. Our next example, we've got x over 3 minus 6 is greater than negative 6. So again, getting rid of the plus or minus first, I got a minus 6 on the left here, so I need to add 6 to get rid of it. And if I add on the left, I have to add on the right as well. So negative 6 plus 6 goes away. I'm left with just x over 3 greater than. Negative 6 plus 6 gives me 0. So I've got x over 3 is greater than 0. So since x is being divided by 3, to get rid of that 3, I need to multiply by 3. And if I multiply the left by 3, I have to multiply the right by 3 as well. The 3's will cancel out, leaving just x. Now I multiplied by a positive 3. So my inequality doesn't change. It's going to stay as a greater than. And then on the right, 0 times 3 gives me an answer of 0. So my final answer should be x is greater than 0. Go ahead and pause the video and solve this last one on your own, and then hit play and see how you did. So the first thing you should have done is subtracted 5 from both sides, leaving you with x divided by 6 is greater than a negative 15. From there, to get rid of the 6 on the left, we need to multiply by 6, and if you multiply the left by 6, you have to multiply the right by 6 as well. On the left side, the 6's cancel, leaving just x. I multiplied by a positive number, so my inequality stays greater than, and then on the right, negative 15 times 6 gives me an answer of negative 90. So my final inequality is x is greater than negative 90. So for all those previous examples, we did adding or subtracting first, followed by multiplying and dividing. Now there are some exceptions to the rule, so we're going to talk about a couple of examples that are going to be exceptions to that rule. Okay, so normally we add or subtract first, then multiply or divide. These examples, we're going to break that rule. We're going to go the opposite way, and you're going to see why once you see them. Okay, so our first example of the exception is 2x plus 4 divided by 5 is less than negative 2. So you'll notice now, in this type of problem, I'm not just dividing the x by a number, I'm dividing the whole top by this 5. Okay, so I can't subtract 4 over because it's part of the fraction. Okay, so that's why I need to get rid of that 5 first. And since I'm dividing by 5, to get rid of it, I need to multiply by 5. And if I multiply the left by 5, then I need to multiply the right by 5 as well. The 5s are going to cancel out. On the left, I've got 2x plus 4. Still have a less than because I multiplied by a positive number. Negative 2 times 5 gives me a negative 10. From here, it looks like a normal two-step equation. So now I can go back to adding or subtracting first. You'll see I've got a plus 4 that I need to get rid of. And I can do that by subtracting 4. And if I subtract 4 on the left, I subtract 4 on the right. The 4's cancel out, leaving just 2x is less than negative 10 minus 4 is a negative 14. And then finally, to get rid of the 2, right now it's being multiplied by x, so to get rid of it, I need to divide by 2. If I divide the left by 2, I need to divide the right by 2 as well. On the left, the 2's cancel, leaving just x. Again, I divided by a positive number, so the inequality stays less than. Negative 14 divided by 2 is a negative 7, so my final answer is going to be x is less than negative 7. Our other example, we've got 6x plus 4 divided by 2 is less than a negative 19. Okay, so again, since 2 is on the bottom of the whole thing, I need to get rid of the 2 first, and I can do that by multiplying by 2. If I multiply the left by 2, I can multiply the right by 2 as well. On the left, the 2's are going to cancel, leaving just 6x plus 4. Still have a less than inequality because I multiplied by a positive number, and on the right, negative 19 times 2 is a negative 38. Now I can go back to the way we were doing it, so now I subtract 4 from both sides to get rid of that plus 4. The 4's cancel out, leaving just 6x on the left is less than negative 38 minus 4 is a negative 42. Finally, to get rid of the 6, since it's being multiplied by x, I need to divide by 6 on both sides. The left side, the 6's cancel, leaving just x. I divided by a positive number again, so my inequality will stay less than. Negative 42 divided by 6 gives me a negative 7. So my final answer is going to be x is less than a negative 7.